Hey everyone, and welcome back. In this walkthrough, we're going to be looking at the Firefish candidate onboarding portal, a self-service space where candidates can update their own details, availability, preferences, search your agency's live jobs, and keep their record accurate without recruiters having to chase everything manually. For recruitment agencies, this is really useful because we know that candidate data goes out of date quickly. Candidates move jobs, change locations, update their CV, gain new qualifications, skills, update their availability, or unsubscribe from certain types of communication, and you need a central way to capture that. The candidate portal gives candidates a simple way to manage that themselves while keeping the information inside your Firefish CRM up to date for your team. So let's have a jump in and look at what the candidate portal offers for recruitment agencies across the UK and Ireland. So what the candidate portal is a series of tabs that recruiters can set up to customize for what's important to their agency and also what they need to capture from candidates. Candidates can then access this on desktop or mobile. You can see this candidate here. I have a ton of fields that are missing or not there. For example, my notice on my current role, maybe a month, title, and put in the lead, which I can drag in and simply pop in to begin updating all of those details within the candidate portal. You can see I have my job experience within there, and I can add any education or certifications that I've recently achieved as a candidate that may not have existed since the last time I updated my record. Over on the details tab, what we have is compliance details. So this is particularly important for those who work temp and contract roles. So my right to work, for example, maybe that I'm a UK citizen, and I'm going to save that so that we know that that field's now updated in the recruiter portal. So when it comes to deploying a candidate, the recruiter has the most up-to-date information available. Again, agencies can build out any compliance detail that they want within here so that you're collecting a series of things such as do you have your own car, are you health and safety certified, maybe manual handling certificates, and also make the uploading of documentation to validate this mandatory, which really reduces admin drag for recruitment agencies. Another important part of the hiring journey is references. Candidates can update any referees that they want to maybe cite to recruiters for spot checks and mark them as okay to check or permission needed. So if they're not marked as okay to check, I know as a recruiter, I have to go out to that candidate to check if it's okay at this point. However, if they are okay to check, again, we're removing a step in that process and allowing recruiters to go direct to the referees to validate that this candidate is a fit for the role. Where the candidate portal really comes into its own is in preferences. So as a candidate, it may be that actually I am actively looking for a permanent job. However, for a contract job, it may be that I'm not actively looking at the moment. So I could update that to say, not interested in contracting, I'm only interested in permanent roles. My required salary is £30,000 per year, and I may want private health care also within there. Now, this is really powerful for going back to the recruiter because what that's going to do is update all of the preferences within the candidate profile in the recruitment CRM. And when a recruiter's carrying out searches or looking at potential matches, it's going to match against the things that the candidate is looking for within there. Again, this becomes particularly relevant when we start to look at disciplines. So it may be that I am looking for an IT job and I want a web developer role that I can tick within there and say I'm also interested in application developers. The location, I'm looking in Scotland, ideally in Glasgow, but I could also be interested in Edinburgh if I'm looking to commute, or Stirling and Perth. And when I save these changes, it's updating everything then within the Firefish CRM for the recruiter. So recalculating potential matches and search results and save searches and talent pools based on these updated preferences for every candidate who does it. Over in the jobs tab, what we're seeing is any current application. So if I've applied for a role, which many candidates will have arrived at the portal from, I can see the status of that role and where I'm progressing through that pipeline. My pay tab makes it really easy later on in the recruitment process to remove any barriers from getting paid, which is arguably the most important part for any candidate working a contract or temp role. So I may want to input my national insurance number in here, my bank account details, my bank name, short code, etc., and upload a PDF to make sure that they're right This is all encoded and passed through into the recruiter portal in a safe way so that it can never be compromised, and allows recruiters to then work with pay and bill systems at speed to remove any barriers and delays to pay when a candidate is placed in a temporary or contract role. Recently added is availability, which is particularly relevant for temp and contract agencies. Candidates can come into the availability tab and say that they are on holiday for possibly a week at the moment. If we go through to here and save it, and you can see all of that is then beginning to block out where they're on holiday and they wouldn't be available. That would stop them from being booked on temporary and contract roles, because we know at that point as a recruiter, this candidate's not here. Similarly, it may be that they were sick or not available. Put in a not available date within there, and that would show that there is no availability for this candidate, and stops recruiters draining time looking at candidates who are not going to be available or a fit for a role. So you begin to build up a picture from the data in the candidate portal with the compliance. Are they a fit compliance-wise? Preferences, are they a fit for what they're looking for? Availability, are they a fit? Later in the stage, do you have the pay details? And then their subscriptions. Candidates can then self-manage. Do they want email subscriptions? Do they want personalised job alerts? Do they want to know of any upcoming roles? Example, and build out that full candidate journey just in a couple of tabs on a candidate onboarding portal. Back over in the profile tab, you can see that actually the CV that I uploaded is now parsed using AI parsing, and it's populated far more of the fields within the profile itself. So I now have the candidate's address just by them uploading their CV. I have their postcode. Do they have their own transport? I could update this as a candidate and say, yes, I have phone number. And then I've begun to build out what their skills are within there, where they use those skills, what their experience is, their education. And we're building a far richer candidate profile on every candidate as part of that onboarding journey, so that each candidate then comes into the database ready to be contacted, ready to be deployed and placed into a role to give my agency the best chance of success for my clients. So that's a quick walkthrough of the Firefish candidate portal. It gives candidates far more control of their own information, helps your agency maintain a cleaner database, and reduces the manual admin that normally sits within any recruitment team. If you're using Firefish and want to improve candidate engagement, data quality, and onboarding efficiency, the candidate portal is a great place to start. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next walkthrough.